This is Mr. Eugene. Every man thinks he deserves respect. Very few actually get it. They believe they're doing everything right, working hard, providing, being decent. Their results tell a different story. She rolls her eyes when he talks, dismisses his opinions, treats his preferences like they're irrelevant. He's confused because from his perspective, he's earned respect through effort and character, but she's not evaluating him the way he thinks she is. Today we're examining why women don't see respect the same way men do, the fundamental difference between male and female respect frameworks, the effectiveness score women use to evaluate men, why passive compliant energy gets maximum disrespect, why tolerating her games destroys all respect, what actually earns female respect versus what men think earns it, how women have evolved this evaluation system over thousands of years, making it impossible to fake, the strategic approach to building the strength that commands respect, why this isn't about pleasing her but about elevating yourself, and most critically, how becoming the strongest version of yourself forces respect from everyone, including her. This is not about supporting toxic female behavior. This is not about claiming women are right to disrespect good men. This is about understanding the actual mechanism by which women allocate respect, so men can stop doing what doesn't work and start doing what does. Stay with me. If you're a good man getting disrespected, this will explain why and give you the exact roadmap to change it. The fundamental disconnect. Male versus female respect framework. Before we examine what earns female respect, we must understand why men and women approach respect completely differently. The male respect framework. Men are generally taught and naturally inclined toward universal baseline respect. Start by respecting everyone you meet. Assume good intentions until proven otherwise. Respect as default. Every person deserves basic human dignity and respect simply for being a person. Respect through character. Judge people by integrity, honesty, consistency, internal qualities. Innocent until proven guilty. Give trust first. Withdraw it only after it's violated. Honor-based system. A man's word matters. Promises are sacred. Character is destiny. This creates a predictable pattern. A man meets someone. The man offers baseline respect automatically. Respect continues unless the person violates trust. Only after violation does the man withdraw respect. Men view this as an honorable, fair, civilized way to operate. The female respect framework. Women operate from a completely different framework. Earned respect only. No one gets respect by default. Respect must be earned through demonstrated value and strength. Respect withheld until proven. Start from a neutral or skeptical position. Respect is given only after a person proves worthy. Respect through effectiveness. Judge people by results, outcomes, ability to get what they want from the world. Guilty until proven innocent. Assume potential threat or weakness. Trust only after extended observation proves otherwise. Pragmatic system. What can this person actually do? How effective are they in the world? Can they protect me, or will they need protection? This creates a different pattern. A woman meets someone. The woman evaluates effectiveness and strength. Respect is allocated based on evaluation. Respect increases or decreases based on ongoing observation of results. Women view this as a smart, protective, realistic way to operate. Why this disconnect matters. When a man operates from his framework, while a woman operates from hers, he thinks, I'm being honorable by respecting her automatically. This should be reciprocated. She thinks, he gave me respect before I earned it. This proves he's naive and weak. Why would I respect someone who respects me without reason? He thinks, I've been consistently good to her. I've proven my character. This should earn respect. She thinks, good character is baseline. Does he get results? Can he handle challenges? Is he effective in the world? Character without effectiveness means nothing. He thinks, I'm being taken advantage of, but that's her moral failure, not mine. She thinks, if he lets me take advantage, he's too weak to stop me. That's his weakness, not my moral failure. This fundamental disconnect explains why good men, who believe they've earned respect through character and consistency, find themselves getting none. The effectiveness score. How women actually evaluate men. Now let me explain the specific mechanism women use to allocate respect. How women calculate the effectiveness score. Every woman, consciously or unconsciously, evaluates every person in her life using this formula. Natural ability and value plus manipulation or strategic skill equals effectiveness score. Let me break down each component. Component 1, natural ability and value. She evaluates your baseline capabilities. Physical capability, strength, fitness, health, ability to protect physically, capacity for physical labor and contribution, presence that commands space, intellectual capability, intelligence, education, knowledge, problem-solving ability, strategic thinking capacity, ability to navigate complex situations, social capability, status in social hierarchies, respect from other men, ability to influence groups, social proof and reputation, financial capability, income and earning potential, asset accumulation, financial security and stability, ability to provide and protect economically, emotional capability, emotional stability and control, ability to remain calm under pressure, resilience through difficulty, psychological strength. Each area gets assessed. Strong performance increases the score. Weak performance decreases it. Component 2, manipulation or strategic skill. She evaluates your ability to get what you want from the world. Can you influence outcomes? Do people do what you want them to do? Can you persuade, negotiate, navigate politics? Do you get favorable results in conflicts? Can you bend situations to your advantage? Can you see through manipulation? Do you recognize when you're being manipulated? Can you defend against emotional tactics? Do you fall for obvious games? Are you strategically aware or naive? Can you outmaneuver opponents? Do you win conflicts or get dominated? Can you handle difficult people? Do challenges defeat you, or do you overcome them? Are you a predator or prey in social dynamics? Do you have strategic thinking? Can you plan multiple steps ahead? Do you see consequences before they arrive? Can you position yourself advantageously? Do you react or do you strategize? This component matters enormously because it shows whether you're effective in the real world, not just theoretically capable, but actually getting results. The total effectiveness score. Natural ability, 50 points, plus strategic skill, 50 points, equals effectiveness score, 100 points total. When she evaluates you, she's computing, does he have capabilities? Natural ability assessment. Can he actually deploy those capabilities effectively? Strategic skill assessment. The combination determines your total effectiveness score in her evaluation, how she uses your effectiveness score. Once she's calculated your effectiveness score, she compares it to her own. If your score is greater than her score, she respects you. You're more effective than her, you get better results. You're stronger. You command more value from the world. Her strategy. Be respectful and cooperative. Fighting you is a losing strategy. Aligning with you is a winning strategy. The dynamic. She submits to your leadership because you've proven through results that you're more capable. If your score equals her score, neutral relationship. You're equals, neither dominant. Her strategy. Negotiate. Cooperate when beneficial. Compete when necessary. The dynamic. Partnership between equals with ongoing power dynamics. If your score is less than her score, she disrespects you. You're less effective than her. You get worse results. You're weaker. You command less value from the world. Her strategy, dominate and control. You're beneath her, so she'll manipulate you for her benefit. The dynamic. She takes a leadership role. She makes decisions. She disregards your input because you've proven through results that you're less capable. Why this system exists. This isn't women being cruel or arbitrary. This is evolutionary psychology. For thousands of years, female survival depended on correctly evaluating male strength. Choose a strong, effective man, leads to security, protection, resources, leads to survival, and thriving offspring. Choose a weak, ineffective man, leads to vulnerability, poverty, danger, leads to death, and failed offspring. Women who correctly identified strong men survived. Women who chose poorly died. This selection pressure over millennia created a sophisticated evaluation system that operates automatically today, even though the modern context doesn't require it for literal survival. Women have developed this skill over thousands of generations. No one can fake being a man who deserves her respect, at least not for long. She will see through performance to reality. She will detect weakness you think you're hiding. She will know your effectiveness score with frightening accuracy. The two killers. What destroys your effectiveness score? Now let me identify the two specific behaviors that absolutely destroy male effectiveness scores in female evaluation. Respect killer number 1, passive compliant energy. This is the second most damaging thing to your respect. What passive compliant energy looks like. You avoid conflict at all costs. Accept poor treatment without confronting it. Let her override your preferences constantly. Agree to things you don't want to avoid disagreement. Apologize even when you're not wrong. Back down from your positions when she pushes. You seek permission rather than inform. Is it okay if I go out with friends? Can I buy this thing I want? Would you mind if I do something? Operating like a child, asking a parent for approval. You prioritize her approval over your own judgment. changing plans based on her mood, abandoning your preferences to please her, seeking her validation for your decisions, living for her approval rather than your own standards. You're reactive rather than proactive, responding to her initiatives rather than leading, waiting for her direction rather than setting direction, following her lead in your own life, letting her energy dictate yours. You accept losses without fighting. Let people take advantage without consequence. Accept unfavorable outcomes without resistance. Roll over when challenged. Choose peace over standing firm. Why this destroys respect. When she observes passive compliant energy, her evaluation process concludes, he's getting less from the world than he would if he fought harder for everything. She sees you accepting outcomes that stronger men would never accept. She watches you get walked over by others. She observes you choosing comfort over confrontation, even when confrontation would get you better results. Her conclusion, therefore he is stupid and doesn't deserve my respect. From her framework, a man who could get more but accepts less is either too weak to fight for better, too stupid to recognize he's being taken advantage of, or too passive to matter in the world. Any of these conclusions destroys respect. The logic from her perspective, if he won't fight for better outcomes for himself, he certainly won't fight for me or our children when it matters. If he accepts poor treatment from others, he'll accept poor treatment from me. If he's passive with the world, he's not a man who protects, he's a man who needs protection. And I can't respect a man I'd have to protect. Respect killer number 2. Tolerating her games and tricks. This is the absolute worst thing you can do for respect, and it's the number 1 reason women lose all respect for their husbands. What her games and tricks mean. Emotional manipulation, crying to avoid accountability, rage to prevent conversations, guilt trips to control your behavior, victim narratives to avoid responsibility, testing behavior, creating conflicts to see if you'll stand firm, pushing boundaries to see if you'll enforce them, disrespecting you to see if you'll accept it, threatening to leave to see if you'll beg, control tactics, withholding affection as punishment, using sex transactionally, silent treatment to make you comply, comparing you to other men to make you try harder, drama creation, manufacturing crises for attention, starting fights over nothing, creating chaos to avoid real conversations, escalating small issues into major conflicts. Why tolerating this destroys all respect. Here's the critical insight most men miss. Women know their games are stupid and create chaos for no real reason. They're consciously aware that the manipulation is unfair, the testing is unreasonable, the drama is manufactured, the tactics are toxic. So when you tolerate these games, her evaluation process concludes, he allows behavior that even I know is unreasonable. He is even dumber than I thought. The psychology behind this. She deploys manipulation that she knows is manipulative. She creates drama she knows is irrational. She tests boundaries she knows shouldn't need testing. If you fail to recognize and shut down behavior that even she knows is wrong, you've proven you're too naive to see obvious manipulation, extremely low strategic skill score, too weak to confront bad behavior, extremely low effectiveness score, too desperate to risk her displeasure, extremely low value score. All 3 conclusions are absolutely devastating to respect. The paradox of testing. Here's what men don't understand about female testing. She wants you to fail the test and pass the meta test. The test. Will you give me what I want when I manipulate, test, or create drama? The meta test. Are you strong enough to see through my manipulation and refuse to play the game? When you give her what she wants, you pass the test, but you fail the meta test. She got what she asked for, but she lost respect for you because you were weak enough to be manipulated. When you refuse to be manipulated, you fail the test, but you pass the meta test. She didn't get what she asked for, but she respects you because you were strong enough to see through the game and refuse to play. The testing is her checking whether you're strong enough to deserve her respect. Passing her tests proves you're not. What actually earns respect? The strength she can't help but respect. Now let me explain what actually earns female respect, because it's not what most men think. Strong energy, the foundation. When a man has strong energy, truly strong, not performed, something fundamental shifts in female psychology. What strong energy looks like. Physical presence, commands space without effort, moves with confidence and purpose, maintains strong posture and eye contact, projects capability and strength, psychological stability, calm under pressure, unshaken by emotional storms, maintains frame regardless of chaos, operates from an internal reference point, not external approval. Decision-making authority, makes decisions without seeking permission, stands by choices even when challenged, accepts responsibility for outcomes, leads rather than follows. Boundary enforcement, states limits clearly, enforces consequences consistently, doesn't tolerate disrespect, protects his peace ruthlessly, results orientation, gets what he wants from the world, overcomes obstacles effectively, turns challenges into victories, demonstrates competence consistently. How she responds to strong energy. When she encounters genuinely strong energy, her evaluation process concludes, I cannot easily control him mentally or physically. This is a critical realization. She's testing constantly, consciously and unconsciously for control. Can she manipulate him with tears? Can she pressure him with anger? Can she guilt him into compliance? Can she test boundaries without consequence? With a strong man, no. None of it works. Her strategic calculation shifts immediately. My smartest move is to be respectful and helpful as my best way to win with him. The logic. If I can't control or dominate him, and he's strong enough to add value to my life, my optimal strategy is alignment and cooperation. Fighting someone stronger is a losing strategy. Joining forces with someone stronger is a winning strategy. If you can't beat him, join him. This isn't necessarily a conscious decision. This is an unconscious strategic calculation that happens automatically when she recognizes genuine strength, the impossibility of faking it, why performance doesn't work. Men often ask, can't I just act stronger until I actually become stronger? The answer is no. She will detect the performance immediately. Why women see through performance. Women have been evaluating male strength for thousands of generations. Evolutionary pressure. For millennia, female survival depended on correctly identifying truly strong versus falsely confident men. Women who chose wrong died. Women who chose right survived. This created selection for sophisticated detection. Micro-expression reading. She reads facial expressions, body language, and vocal tone at an unconscious level, detecting incongruence between words and genuine state. Behavior pattern recognition. She observes how you handle various situations over time. Performance breaks down under pressure or duration. Stress response evaluation. Anyone can appear strong in calm situations. She watches how you respond to stress, challenge, and conflict. Performance collapses under pressure. Consistency assessment. Strong men are consistently strong. Performed strength shows cracks, variations, moments of weakness. Strategic acuity. She tests your boundaries. Strong men maintain them. Performers cave eventually. You cannot fake strength long enough to matter. She will see through it within days or weeks at most. What this means, you cannot perform your way to respect. You must actually become stronger. Surface level changes, better posture, a deeper voice, more assertive language, without underlying strength transformation will be detected as fake and will actually decrease respect further because now you're weak and dishonest. Real transformation requires actually building capabilities, actually developing strategic thinking, actually becoming more effective, actually earning a higher effectiveness score through genuine growth. This is why quick fixes don't work. This is why fake it till you make it fails with women. This is why you must do the actual work of becoming stronger. The strategic approach, building genuine strength. So how does a man actually increase his effectiveness score and earn genuine respect? First, understand what this is and isn't, what this is not. This is not a list of more things to do to please your possibly unpleasable wife, tactics to manipulate her into respecting you, ways to perform strength without being strong, strategies to earn approval from someone who may never give it, or changes you make for her benefit. What this is a plan to make yourself genuinely better in every way and every situation in the world. Self-improvement that benefits you regardless of how she responds. Transformation that increases your value to yourself first, building a life that works whether she respects it or not. Becoming the strongest version of yourself despite the person you married. The goal. Increase your value to yourself so her games are less effective. Like building a house of bricks instead of straw. Storms come. A brick house stands, a straw house falls. Build yourself into a man whose strength makes manipulation ineffective and whose effectiveness makes disrespect impossible. The implementation framework. Now let me give you the exact step-by-step process. Step 1. The honest inventory. Create a 2-column assessment. Left column, good qualities. List genuinely positive traits, capabilities, strengths you possess. Physical, strength, fitness, health markers. Intellectual, knowledge, skills, education, problem solving. Financial, income, assets, financial literacy. Social, relationships, status, influence. Emotional, stability, resilience, self-control. Character, integrity, consistency, reliability. Skills, what you can do that adds value. Right column, weaknesses or areas for improvement. List honestly where you're deficient. Physical, poor fitness, health issues, weakness, intellectual, knowledge gaps, skills needed, financial, insufficient income, debt, poor decisions, social, isolation, low status, no influence, emotional, instability, reactivity, weakness under pressure, character, inconsistency, unreliability, lack of integrity, skills, capabilities you lack that matter. Critical. This requires brutal honesty. Lying to yourself prevents growth. If you're getting disrespected, your weaknesses column is longer or more significant than your strengths column. Accept this reality without self-deception. Step 2. Strategic prioritization. From your weaknesses list, identify which improvements would increase your value most significantly. Some improvements add massive value. Going from financially struggling to financially stable, huge impact. Going from physically weak to strong, major impact. Going from emotionally reactive to emotionally controlled, transformative impact. Other improvements add minimal value. Learning a new language when you're terrible with money, nice but not a priority. Taking up a hobby when you lack basic fitness, pleasant but not foundational. Which ones you could implement fastest? Some improvements take years. Building significant wealth, long timeline. Developing deep expertise, extended timeline. Other improvements show results quickly. Improving fitness, visible results in months. Developing emotional control, noticeable improvement in weeks with practice. Establishing boundaries, immediate impact. Which ones have compound effects? Some improvements cascade into other areas. Physical fitness leads to confidence, leads to better performance at work, leads to more income. Emotional control leads to better decisions, leads to better relationships, leads to more respect. Financial stability leads to reduced stress, leads to better health, leads to more capacity. The optimal selection, high impact, fast results, compound effects. Choose 1 to 3 maximum to start. More than 3 and you'll be overwhelmed and accomplish nothing. Better to fully implement 1 to 3 changes than partially implement 10. Step 3. Daily implementation. For each selected improvement, define daily action. Example 1. Physical strength. Daily action. 30 minutes of strength training plus 10,000 steps. Tracked. Log every workout, every day's steps. Progress measured. Weight lifted increases weekly. Body composition improves monthly. Example 2. Emotional control. Daily action. 10 minutes of meditation plus a pause before reacting to provocation. Tracked. Journal reactive moments and how you handled them. Progress measured. Decrease in reactive responses. Increase in considered responses. Example 3. Financial improvement. Daily action. 1 hour of skill development for your career plus review of budget and spending. Tracked. Skills learned, money saved, debt reduced. Progress measured. Income increases, savings grow, debt decreases. The key. Do it daily, not when convenient, not when motivated. Daily. Consistency matters infinitely more than intensity. Better to work out 20 minutes daily for a year than 2 hours weekly for a month. Step 4. Habit formation. Continue daily implementation until it becomes automatic. Research shows habit formation takes 66 days on average, not 21 days as commonly believed. So commit to 90 days minimum of daily implementation before adding the next improvement. During these 90 days, you'll resist. Expect this. Do it anyway. You'll want to quit. Expect this. Don't quit. You'll see minimal progress initially. Expect this. Trust the process. You'll be tempted to add more too soon. Resist. Master one thing first. After 90 days of daily implementation, the behavior becomes automatic. It no longer requires willpower or motivation. It's just what you do. Only after the first improvement is habitual do you add the next one from your prioritized list. Step 5. Compound growth. As each improvement becomes a habit, add the next. Month 1 to 3, physical strength. Daily workouts become automatic. Month 4 to 6, add financial improvement. Daily skill development becomes automatic. Month 7 to 9, add emotional control. Daily meditation and response management become automatic. Month 10 to 12, add social capability. Daily relationship building becomes automatic. By the end of the year, you've transformed 4 major areas of life through consistent daily action. Each area improves your effectiveness score. Combined, they transform your entire life. Expected pushback. She will resist your growth. Expect it. Prepare for it. Don't let it stop you. The resistance you'll encounter. Phase 1. Mockery and dismissal when you start working out daily. What, you think you're going to become some bodybuilder now? You've tried this before and quit. You'll quit again. This is stupid. You're wasting time. Phase 2, sabotage. When habits start forming. Scheduling conflicts during your workout time, buying tempting food when you're trying to eat better, creating drama when you're trying to develop emotional control, criticizing the time you spend on improvement. Phase 3, escalation. When she sees transformation working, increased testing to see if you've really changed, more dramatic manipulation attempts, threats of leaving, extreme behavior to break your new patterns. Why she resists. She resists because your growth changes the power dynamic. Before, you were weaker than her, low effectiveness score. She controlled the dynamic. She had power during transformation. You're becoming stronger. The power balance is shifting. She's losing control after transformation. You're stronger than her, high effectiveness score. She must submit to your leadership or leave. This shift is threatening to her if she's been dominating through your weakness, so she resists to maintain the power she had. How to handle resistance. Expect it. She's going to resist this. That's normal. I'm doing it anyway. Don't explain. No long justifications. This is what I'm doing. Period. Don't seek approval. You're not asking permission. You're informing her of reality. Stay consistent. Her resistance tests whether you'll cave. Don't cave. Consistency proves strength. Accept potential consequences. If she can't respect strength, she'll leave. That's better than staying weak for someone who disrespects weakness. The resistance is temporary. Your transformation is permanent. If she's capable of respecting strength, she'll adjust and begin respecting you as you become stronger. If she's not capable of respecting strength, she'll escalate until the relationship ends, which reveals she was never going to respect you regardless of what you did, so becoming stronger and losing her is infinitely better than staying weak and keeping her. What happens as you grow stronger? As you genuinely increase your effectiveness score through consistent daily improvement, predictable changes occur. Internal changes. Month 3, more physical energy and mental clarity, increased confidence from consistent achievement, better emotional regulation from developed discipline, improved decision-making from reduced reactivity. Month 6, significant visible physical transformation, notable financial improvement or skill development, dramatically better emotional control, clear behavioral pattern changes. Month 9, new baseline established, the old you feels distant, capability in areas that were weaknesses, automatic strength that requires no effort, identity shift. You see yourself differently. Month 12, complete transformation in multiple areas, high effectiveness score in objective reality, unshakable foundation that cannot be easily moved, strength that's obvious to everyone, including yourself. External changes in her behavior. If she's capable of respecting strength, you'll observe, phase 1. Confusion, months 1 to 3. She's confused by your change. You're not responding to manipulation the same way. You're not seeking her approval like before. You're focused on your improvement despite her resistance. Phase 2. Testing escalation, months 3 to 6. She escalates manipulation to see if this change is real or temporary. More drama, more testing, more attempts to break your new patterns. Phase 3. Recognition, months 6 to 9. She recognizes the change is real and permanent. You're actually stronger. Her effectiveness score calculation changes. You're now higher value than you were. Phase 4. Adjustment, months 9 to 12. Her behavior adjusts to your new strength. More respect, less manipulation, more cooperation, more traditional feminine behavior. She submits to your leadership because you've proven through results that you're stronger than her. If she's not capable of respecting strength, she'll leave or force you to leave. And that's the best possible outcome because it reveals that no amount of strength would have earned her respect. She's incapable of respecting any man. Better to be alone and strong than partnered and weak. Final thoughts. This isn't about her. Here's what men must understand. This entire process is not about earning her respect. It's about becoming a man whose strength makes disrespect impossible and irrelevant. You're not doing this for her. You're doing this for you. You're not becoming stronger so she'll respect you. You're becoming stronger so you respect yourself, and so the world, including her, responds to your genuine strength rather than your performed weakness. If your marriage improves, excellent. If she begins respecting you, wonderful. But that's a side effect, not the goal. The goal is building yourself into the strongest version of yourself, physically, financially, emotionally, strategically, socially, so that you're effective in the world, you get results you want, you're proud of who you are, You command respect through demonstrated strength. You're no longer vulnerable to manipulation. Your life works, whether she respects it or not. And here's the paradox. The less you need her respect, the more likely you are to get it. When you're strong for yourself, not for her approval, she recognizes genuine strength. And genuine strength, finally, is what earns genuine respect. Drop a comment if this explains the dynamics you've been living. Have you been giving baseline respect while getting none back? Have you tolerated games thinking it showed patience? What are you going to change starting today? Subscribe for frameworks that explain what's actually happening beneath surface dynamics and provide actionable strategies that actually work. Build yourself stronger. Earn your own respect first. And watch how the world, including her, responds to genuine strength rather than performed weakness.